There's a lot of work that needs to get done on a personal level about believing in oneself. And it's not just enough to just believe in God and say, I believe in God. You have to cultivate that faith. It's a muscle. And you also have to cultivate conviction. And the difference between believing in God and believing in yourself is that believing in God is faith, and believing in yourself is conviction. I found it, guys. Something has clicked, and I'm coming here today to just share what has clicked about the secret behind the success of every enterprise, the capital behind every single enterprise. My name is Belle Seabo Ame of Belle Seabo Consultants. And over here, we love all things great and wellness and, just achieving the life of our dreams and being the people that we're truly destined to be. And I come again this week. I apologize to many of you because I think you've been wanting my real-time videos as opposed to videos of me doing interviews elsewhere and sharing them on the YouTube channel. And I just want to say that sometimes when I just disappear, I disappear or I don't speak because I speak when I've got something to channel. I speak when I am directed to teach. And if I don't have that direction from spirit, or spirit hasn't put a seed in me to come and plant in your divine mind, then definitely I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Even though every Wednesday we've got an appointment, you and I'm not going to do it. But today I've been inspired because obviously in my journey as an entrepreneur, I'm learning in my journey of living my truthful, authentic life. I keep on learning different things, and I'm at a place today where I had a realization that the missing link of why you and I haven't transcended into the levels we need to transcend into is belief. Believe not as a concept out there that is of religion. Belief as a business strategy, as an actual strategy that you use in your business, that you use in your personal life to drive things forward. I was listening to Joshua Salman, and he said something to the effect of, let me just get it here on my phone. I thought it was on my iPad. He said something to the effect that to believe means to meditate on the promises of God until conviction and trust is established. And that just did inside of me. Like literally, I just felt my brain have an orgasm, and I felt myself transcend into another dimension and awareness of understanding and realizing that, oh my God, you can believe in God and think God is almighty, all wonderful, all great as he is. But if you don't have a belief in yourself, it doesn't matter the amount of dreams, visions that God gives you. It doesn't matter the amount of moments that you go to church. For as long as if you haven't worked on the belief aspect in relation to yourself and your capacity to actualize all those dreams and those seeds that God has put in you, then everything is null and void. Everything is null and void. It's not enough to just be like, oh, I believe in God. I believe in God. I trust in God. Okay, you believe in God, you trust in God. But do you believe in God and trust in God in what he has created of you and what you're able to do? Because then, if you did, they would be reality in your life. And I realized that, oh my God, I trust in God, but there's a compromise when it comes to me, because I'll do a project. And then instead of when you're moving from conviction, yeah, this is going to work. When somebody's like, hey, I kid you not, if we take this route, we're going to end up at the school in front of it. And that person speaks with that conviction. It's almost as if we have to take that stance with ourselves. And I was really inspired by this gold medal that Botswana won in the World Athletics. As you can see, I'm representing bedazzled in gold. You know, the theme today is just gold because we're golden people. And I was like, let me learn from these people. Let me learn from the minds of these people who are breaking records, not just from Botswana, but for the continent at large. And what is their thinking and how do they do things? And I was watching a documentary they did, and the coach inside spoke. And he talked about Tebogo Letsila's journey and how many people were advising him to take him to the seniors because he performed so well. And he was like, no. I'm going to keep him in the juniors so that by the time that he gets to the seniors, he has confidence because he has a self-image of a winner because he's won so many times. And then he also spoke about how they train on certain days, but Tuesdays and Thursdays are for meditation. And he works on their belief in being gold medalists. He works on their image of being winners. He works on their minds. And I was like, belief is not just a one-off seed. It's not just a one-off thing that you believe you can just switch on and off like a switch. It's a seed. It's a seed that you actually cultivate. It's a muscle. It has to grow. So if you don't have a strategy of how do you develop belief in yourself about yourself, and not just belief in God, belief in yourself and what God has created of you, then everything is null and void, because you are not cultivating the baseline in which energy comes from to redirect all these visions and dreams into a state of being. And I was like, hey, there's a lot of work that needs to get done. There's a lot of work that needs to get done on a personal level about believing in oneself. And it's not just enough to just believe in God and say, I believe in God. You have to cultivate that faith. It's a muscle. And you also have to cultivate conviction. And the difference between believing in God and believing in yourself is that believing in God is faith and believing in yourself is conviction. So you need to just walk into a room like, hey, and not say it from an ego place. Say it from a place of conviction that you have spent time meditating on the promises of God about your life, and you have believed them so much that if somebody says, I'm not too sure about that project, it's like, then don't be sure about the project. That's on you. I've seen what I've seen, and I've sensed what I've sensed, and I know what I know, and I believe what I believe. And what I believe is that this is going to work out. This is going to give me millions. This is going to go global. This is going to have a huge impact in people's lives. And it's going to transform lives for the better. Once you have the belief and the conviction and, the belief strategy for your business, for your life, to say, I believe in God, but I also believe in who God says I am, and the promises of God over my life, and the promises of God over my capacity to develop, expand, and create this vision. And when you move from it, when you move from that place, in order to activate that belief and externalize it, you now have to use your spoken word. If God lives in us, or if we are made in the mirror of, for those who believe, right? Then when you listen to what a lot of religions say, how reality was created, it was like, and then he spoke. So you then have to use the power of the tongue, the power of the spoken word to activate your belief by then calling out those things. Because if you're going to call them out, there would be conviction. If you find yourself scared to say, I'm going to be a multi-millionaire. I am a multi-millionaire. I create businesses that, transcend nations and are continental, intercontinental. I create businesses that are multi-millionaire businesses. I create businesses that employ a multitude of people, and they are aligned with the purposes of their life, and they're also rewarded at the level of abundance that they feel deserving. I resolve problems for people, and I have the conviction that this project and this project and this project is going to bear the fruits that magnify God. Challenge God, even say, God, show the glory of who you are by giving me the promises, calling him out with the spoken word, calling those visions with the spoken word, and creating them with the power. So these two things, it's a strategy: believe, spoken word, that's it. And it's not enough to once in a while, have a conversation with a friend and be like, yo, I believe I'm a multi-millionaire. No, that is not even a conversation or for you to call it out with your friends, with your family. It's none of that business. Call it out with God every day. The same way you brush your teeth, the same way you eat. Feed your spirit, feed your strategy, feed your belief. That's it. I gave you the formula right here. In this season, in this energy, work on your belief and work on your spoken word, the conversations you have with God, cultivating the conviction and pulling the promises that he made in your life. I kid you not. Let's have a conversation after I've done it, you've done it, in a few weeks' time, and let's see how our lives have transformed. You can have the most brilliant ideas, the most brilliant strategies, the most brilliant of teams, but if your belief and your self-image are not there, there's nothing we can do for you, and there's nothing you absolutely can do for yourself to transcend to those levels that you want. Please share some of the strategies of what you do to cultivate your belief and teach me, And as much as I come here and I'm a teacher, I also love to learn. I'm always a student. My name is Valsabo Ame. Thank you so much for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.